What's up YouTube, it's Joltik TCG here and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the results from this weekend's events. We had 3 events going on: the Utrecht special event, the Santiago Regionals in Chile, as well as the Melbourne Regionals all the way in Australia. So tons of Pokemon data to be taking a look at. We're going to be taking a look at popular decks, what the conversion rate was, and the top 16 deck list. So if you guys are excited, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. It helps out in many ways and I am forever grateful if you would do so. So let's take a look at some data, shall we? So let's take a look at Utrecht special event first. I actually went to that event, so that's pretty cool. I got into day 2, which is always a nice thing to have. I actually played Joltik Box. If you want to see that adventure, you can check out the vlog that I made on the channel as well. So with that being said, we had here the most popular deck being Dragapult, followed up by Raging Bolt, Gardevoir, then Joltik Box, then a couple of random decks in the mix, and then Terra Box. If you take a look at the best of the rest, we also have a little bit of a Goldango Dragapult, EV Toolbox, some Goldango. Arteldon really dropped down in popularity, and a little bit of Charizard and Zoroark. So if we take a look at all that data, what happened during day 2, well, we do see that Dragapult still climbs up even further, 18% meta share. The conversion rate of Gardevoir was, tremendous, with 70% meta share in day 2. Raging Bolt hang in there, so people are actually comfortable with playing Raging Bolt right now. People are always saying like, this is Raging Flop, but nothing more is true. The deck is holding on strong. Also, Joltik Box gained some percentage points, 2 of them, 2 percentage points. Also, Goldango Dragapult 2%, and EV Box sticks around. So Terra Box always seems to be flopping around in these events because it's a very hard deck to pilot. And a lot of the top players are actually navigating towards Dragapult or Gardevoir, so that makes a little bit of sense. So this is actually the data, and I don't think this will be different at the other events. We will take a look at them after we take a look at the results from Utrecht. But we do see here the #1 decks around, Gardevoir and Dragapult. It's a battle between them. Gardevoir has already won so many major events in this Journey Together format, but Dragapult is always the most popular deck. But in day 2 it was very close, very close. Only 1 person extra in the day 2 with Dragapult over Gardevoir, so kind of insane. So let's take a look at some deck lists. We had the Joa Wigner being the first place Dragapult list, and this actually is a very cool one with the introduction of the Maractus. We did see that up against the Raging Bolt matchup that they were able to win because they trapped a Latias EX with the Maractus and the corner attack. Very cool. And it also comes back with Latias EX, so you can always have that turn 1 attachment on a Dreepy while retreating into a Budu to start initiating the Itchy Pollen item block shenanigans. Still a bunch of Luminous Energy because, as you all know, it helps out with the Monkey Dory and the Adrena Brain, and also comes with some universal ways to power up the Phantom Dive attack, so you don't look like how I have a Fire Energy attached and I need to find like the Psychic, while the Luminous Energy can provide whatever you feel like. Unfair Stamp still seems to be the most popular choice in Dragapult list. We also have second place. Alberto Conti has a crazy tournament run as well. It's one of the most phenomenal players. If you take a look at its resume, you will see a lot of success right there. We see here also a straight Dragapult list, but without the Maractus. And also this list, if you see it, it is playing the Arven package. If we take a look at Joa Wigner's list, it actually was also playing Arven. So it seems like Arven is finding its way more in these tool-based versions of Dragapult. So straight Dragapult back at it with the Arven package. And if you are not item locked, you still have access to your other supporters, Brock Scouting, Jacques as well. We did see the use of Luminous Cape to protect your Dracloaks before they're actually getting knocked out by stuff like the Phantom Dive. You do see that Dragapult is playing a high amount of Gust as well with triple Counter Catcher, triple Balsasaurus. The Bravery Charm can make your Budu quite tanky, but it also could work in the late game for a Blood Moon or Saluna with 310 HP. So a bunch of universal tools. Rescue Board to get your Pokemon at the active position. EXP Share to absorb an energy if a Dragapult goes down. So these straight Dragapult lists are being refined, and as more and more tournaments go by, you will of course notice that they're starting to look a little bit similar to each other. We have Jonas Barsazac from France with the Raging Bolt deck. This is going to be a Raging Bolt Of course, having the Baby Raging Bolt, the Slitherwing. Is this a similar list? Yes, it is the exact same list that Christian Labella actually used to win the Milwaukee Regional. So yeah, nothing else to say. It's a very solid 60, and I will see more and more results from this, because as you see this, it got third place at the Utrecht special event here. It got first place at the Milwaukee Regionals. It got second place at the Santiago Regionals, which we're going to be taking a look at. So a very, very solid 60, and this is probably going to be a deck you should memorize out of the head, because it's going to be played more and more. We have Noah Sakadjian, if I pronounce it correctly, from the United States, all the way here in the Utrecht special event, getting fourth place with a very interesting list of Dragapult Dusknoir. This also a list focused on a very thick line of Dusknoir. We have a 3-2-1 line. Of course, Curse Blast, still a very powerful ability. It also comes back with a Cleffa to draw some cards. It could be really helpful. Still come back with some Jacques. And even 2 copies of Arven. So people are saying, oh, Arven is not good when you're item blocked. But if you're playing so many tools, in this case, they have Luxury Escape and Rescue Board. It actually can be very nice. And also, if you are able to go second, you can, of course, use the Arven to get your Buddy Poffin off and ready to go. So a version of Dragapult. Did you see here in that top 4, there's already 3 Dragapults, and that's spelling out crazy news, because Dragapult is the most popular deck in the room, but Gardevoir has won the most regionals, so it's still neck and neck race with these kind of decks. We have Jan Schaffer from Germany with Enzorwak. Cool to see Enzorwak again in a top 8. We have here a list that was already piloted by someone at Milwaukee Regionals, so we see an exact 60 right here. The Pokemon League headquarters coming into the list to protect yourself up against not only Joltik Box, which actually saw more and more popularity as the format advanced, as well as the Raging Bolt deck that previously won a regional. So Pokemon League headquarters makes sense, definitely in combination with a high amount of Iono. We also see a Black Belt training in here, and the Bombearder EX can try to set up your Pokemon instantly, which is very cool indeed. One ends Reshiram, so if it is priced, you're gonna have a little bit of trouble, but you just hope it is not priced, right? You can also start attacking with the Flame Body Cannon, I suppose. So Reversal Energy really working together with Enzorwak, so a lot of cards that work from behind. We have Counter Catcher, Defiance Band, Reversal Energy, so you do tend to be behind in prizes and then make yourself go upwards once again. Serrano is a very cool card to be playing after you use the Bombearder, and you can also use out the Serrano to search out Bombearder to get your setup going, so a very cool 60 for sure, and Zoroark getting top 8. We have Gino Pili from the Netherlands, Dragapult Charizard. This is an archetype also using Robska. Robska is a very cool tech card, as it not only prevents the damage with prevents damage done to your bench Pokemon, but also the damage counters or any effect. So that means Dragapult cannot hit your low HP Pokemon, which is great. You need, of course, to use that TM Evo to get it off, which is sometimes a little bit tricky. This list wants to be going second most of the time. The Chiyu is in there, which is also a very great attacker to, of course, have a revenge kind of attack. And there's also a high amount of Budu to just wall behind while you set up your Dracloaks and your setup. So Charizard Dracloak is Charizard Dragapult is a deck that was also piloted by a lot of players here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people played that. I don't know if it's the exact testing group here, but Dragapult Charizard did phenomenally well in this situation. Also coming back with 4 copies of Luminous Energy instead of playing Psychic type energies to, of course, power up the Dragapult EX. Alright, continuing on, we have Ryan Morehouse from the UK with Gardevoir. So only one Gardevoir in the top 8. We will see different stories across the globe very shortly, but we see here Gardevoir. It's not the same 60 as Brent Tonisson, but it is looking a little bit close though. I don't know what the biggest difference is between this. I think it's the third copy of the Artisan. I'm gonna check that real quick because I I am very curious. We will see that here Brent Tonisson winning again with the look at the 60. We will see that in the Melbourne Regionals, but what is different here? I think it's the third copy of the Artisan, right? Yeah, something like that. Also, yeah, the Turo is still around. I really want to know right now. That's the thing. Nazball, yeah, it's a Nazball for an Artisan. That's the thing I see at first glance. So something like that. Anyhow, makes it a little bit more unique. It has a third copy for Stadium Bump, I suppose. But we do see here a very solid 60 of Gardevoir working on the list from Brent Tonisson. So Gardevoir is kind of crazy in this format for sure. We have Camille Kolatowasi. Yeah, it's very hard to pronounce. I'm sorry, from Canada with Dragapult, straight Dragapult here. Coming back with a whole lot of tool cards as well. EXP Share, Bravery Charm, Luxury Escape, Rescue Board, as we come to know and love. We have the Arvin to get it out, and this one has the Genesect, and I think the other one also coming back with Genesect. Yeah, everyone has the Genesect now. So note to self, Dragapult is coming back with Genesect most of the time. If you are up against specific matchups, you will know that Genesect shuts down ace-pack cards from being played. Stuff like Prime Catcher is very important for sure. Also, it could help against Goldango if you get that off early so they cannot use Neo Upper Energy. That's also kind of hilarious. It also is playing Haluchas, the Monkey Dory, Luminous Energy, so stuff we've seen before. Then going into top 16, we have a very cool list with Simon Chan from Switzerland with a Roaring Moon. This is the Poison Roaring Moon deck. I have not piloted this yet on the channel, so that's also something we should test out at least soon, because this format is almost over, as Destined Rivals is actually creeping up very closely to us, which is, yeah, this is a cool list. We're having, of course, the poison capabilities of Peturan, Brute Bonnet, and the Paralysis Jungle, meaning you can donk people, which is very cool. Definitely combined with Carmine and Squawkabilly, 2 copies of Squawkabilly in there. There's 3 E-switches and Professor Sada and Earth and Vessel shenanigans going around as well, so you can also donk people with the Frenzied Gouging. So this is a donking list. Always wants to go, if you go first, you can donk with Peturan. If you go second, you can donk with Calamity Storm or whatever. It's going to be an interesting list to try out. So as you all know, Roaring Moon coming back with the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule having 290 HP instead, and with Frenzied Gouging you can one-shot anything in the game. Blood Moon for the late game as well in this 60, and it's a very unique 60 that we still need to test out. We even have a Koraidon here, which can help out if you use an Ancient attack during your last turn. There is a Terra Box going all the way into 10th place with Quentin Carlier from France with Terra Box. This is a Terra Box deck with the Volcanion in there. You might think, ooh, why do we need Volcanion in a 60 like this? Well, it can technically help to deal with Pikachu EX, which actually could be annoying if you're up against something like a Joltik Box or a Mirror Match, so that Volcanion can be useful. It can also help out for additional damage output against Goldango, so you burn the opponent first and then retreat into Terrapagos or Blood Moon in the late game to slap 240 exactly, which is very good to get the exact numbers going. And the cool thing is, if they get knocked out through the means of burn, they can also not use Phasantipity. This list still comes back with Sparkling Crystal, a couple of E-switches, and Teal Mask. Only 1 Teal Mask Ogerpon in there, and it's going to be a very thick Noctowl engine as we come to expect in a list like this. Or your main attacker, there's actually 2 Wellspring Ogerpons in here, so not only can you sup Badu, so they're trapped a little bit, you can also make sure that you can go for the Torrential Pump and knock out 2 Pokemon that require setup all at the same time. Very good against Gardevoir, very good against Dragapult as well. So Terra Box in the beginning of Journey Together was actually one of those decks that people were hyping up, but people were finding ways to beat it. We have Julius Bernfeld from Finland with Gardevoir. What is this Gardevoir 60? It is going to be a deck. There were 3 people actually playing this exact 60. What is different? This is a very streamlined list, by the way. 4 Research, 4 Iono, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Nice Treasure. So you see where they're going? Triple Candy. I think, excuse me, the Triple Candy actually is one of the better choices because you want to improve your fastness in this format as Joltik Box became more and more popular. So I was also up against some Gardevoirs, and it seems like Gardevoir, when played correctly, has a favorable time into Joltik Boxes if you're fast enough. And with 3 rare candies, you can definitely make that happen. Cleffa in here, Lily's Clefairy EX, double Screamtail, so note to self, I know we no longer have Hisuian Heavy Ball, but coming back with the Screamtail can definitely help out. Definitely when there's 2 copies, you don't have to worry about one being prized, but you can also surprise the opponent just to get a second one established. So very cool. Gardevoir, top 16. Victor Zhao from France with Joltik Box. Okay. Having the Iron Leaves. I also played Joltik Box, and this actually is playing the Vitality Band. I was talking about this with my teammate Leonard after the event, like how can we technically beat Gardevoir more easily, and that's where the Vitality Band comes into play, because with that you can actually one-shot Gardevoir EX with your Terra Pikachu, which is totally awesome. This list also coming back with the Genesect, and because you're actually playing more tool cards, we have the Vitality Band, Future Booster Energy Capsule, Rescue Board, Bravery Charm. You're going to be able to put that onto Genesect very easily, helping your processed matchup against the Raging Bolt matchup. So very cool list. I might have to adapt to this because I'm a very big fan of having answers to your bad matchups, like Vitality Band for the Gardevoir and Genesect helping out against Raging Bolt. So the thing you do, you use Joltik, you go second, power up your Iron Hands or your Pikachu EX depending on the matchup, or maybe both. A little bit split line. We have Crispins to power your Pokemon up for boss, and Prime Catcher to just then go after that, Gust, and you're good to go. If you're up against a Dragapult or a Raging Bolt, there's also Lily's Clefairy, which can help out, power itself up. So they did cut one Grass Energy to make the tech cards happen, but I'm a big fan of this list for sure. Moving forward, we have Josh Bound, 13th place with another Guardy list. This is the Guardy list, the most popular Guardy list you've ever seen in your lifetime. Look at those results. That's kind of crazy. This is Brent Tonisson's list, of course, piloted at the Monterrey Regionals, and yeah, it's been winning. This is the perfect Guardy 60 for this format, it seems. So everything you need is in there. There's even the Turo to get rid of your 2-prizer. You can start the Phasandipity down, even give it a Bravery Charm. So if you don't know, yeah, I know firsthand. I was up against very powerful and very skillful players playing Gardevoir. The Joltik Box matchup against Gardevoir, it states that it's favorable on the data, but the data is wrong. Players that know what to do know exactly how to beat this. For example, you put Bravery Charm onto your Monkeydoris to protect them. They cannot get amped. You put your Gardevoir up front. They cannot one-shot it. You have access to Monkeydory and you can attack again. So kind of scary in my opinion. But yeah, very phenomenal 60. Look at that. Continuing on, we have Shataro Miyabi from France as well. Raging Bolt is where it's at. This actually is a unique 60, coming back with an energy switch in there. Could help out to, of course, snipe with the baby Raging Bolt a little bit quicker. It could also make you, of course, attack with the Teal Mask Ogerpon. If you have two of them out, you can attack with it in one go. Attach of the turn, Teal Dance, and one Teal Dance goes to the other, which means you can technically attack with Ogerpon out of nowhere up against something like a Charizard or an Zoroark EX. So it's still coming back with the Judge technology, so stuff we've seen before. Mew EX to, of course, have draw power in the late game, and the Ditto to transform into anything you want an early couple of turns. So also has been figured out by now. Raging Bolt. Then we have Maxime de Lussac from France with Joltik Box. This is a Joltik Box. Also, there's two of them getting top 16 with this 60. So the same 60 as Victor Zhao. So cool for sure. Very solid 60. Test out the Vitality Band. I knew I was onto something. And then we have Brian de Vries. Is also one of the known players in the community. Actually I lost against Brian de Vries because, yeah, Gardevoir is just difficult for Joltik Box. And it's the exact same 60. So nothing more to say here. Same 60 Guardy. So as we see in that top 16, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 Guardies in that top 16. There was 2 Joltik Boxes. There was 2 Raging Bolts. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Dragapult. So you still see the trend is still going on here, that we do see Gardevoirs and Dragapults mostly in top 16s. They have been doing so well. Another deck that I want to shed some light upon is the one from Matthew Houtput, also being created by Jimmy Whites, by the way. They're playing the exact 60. We have the Okidogi here. This is very cool to see. 2 people from Belgium cooking something ridiculously good. Okidogi. We're going to be making a video about that very soon on the channel. But yeah, very great list. I'm going to give some shoutouts where shoutouts are due. So we have, yeah, the Dunsparce, a draw engine, as you all know. But you can also use the Dunsparce EX to slap more damage for every EX Pokemon the opponent has in play. Okidogi powers itself up through the means of Crispin and an attach of turn, and you can also Crispin energies onto Monkeydory to transfer damage from your side of the field to the opponent's side of the field. And because you have a Darkness energy and the means of Luminous energy equipped to your Okidogi, or sometimes Legacy energy, you can of course have 100 additional HP with your Okidogi, and you slap 100 additional damage, meaning you have 230 HP. Combine that with a Bravery Charm, you have 280 HP. If you're not getting one-shotted, you have Monkeydory. So very, very awesome list. You're going to see this in action very soon. But that's also a deck that I want to give some shoutouts. Yeah, very awesome. Moving forward, we had another tournament. So as you all know, the special event in Utrecht was not the only event. We had also, let's talk about the regional in Santiago, Chile, where we had William Azevedo, if I pronounce it correctly, from Brazil, winning with Gardevoir. This is a unique Gardevoir. I think the only difference here is that I don't see a Cleffa. And there's also Mew EX in here, but only one rare candy, but it's playing double TM Evo. I don't know how to feel about that. If you do go second, get TM Evo up and ready to go, triple Curlia in there as well. So you want to establish your Gardevoirs ASAP and then win games, right? Also 4 copies of Arven in there. So it is still going with the TM Evo strategy, and that's something that people have forgotten with ever since Refinement Curlia rotated, but the same attackers are still there, Screamtail, Drifloon, and of course the Monkey Dory, which helps with transferring damage from your side of the field to the opponent's side of the field. Gardevoir still one of the most broken decks in the format. We have Julian Gort-Barry from Canada with Raging Bolt. This is a Raging Bolt, same 60 as Christian Labella. No more extra details to talk about here. We talked about this list already. Then we're going to have Shenxi Jin from China with Joltik Box. The Joltik Box coming back with something unique, and that is actually the Heavy Baton. Heavy Baton is something I also saw recently pop up at other list, and also comes back with the Protective Goggles. If you don't know what the Protective Goggles are, the basic Pokemon this card is attached to has no weakness. Sometimes you can technically remove your weakness, which can help against Raging Bolt, which means Slitherwing cannot one-shot your Pikachu EX. How cool is that? That's also a way you can deal with those annoying Raging Bolt decks that keep eating you up. We have the Town Store, so either go for the Genesect or the Protective Goggles. So if you want to attack against Raging Bolt, we have technology in the format to do so. This also comes back with a Stadium Bump, which is actually pretty useful, as some lists are actually incorporating the Pokemon League headquarters. So that's actually going to be very annoying for the Joltik Box deck. I also was up against a lot of Dragapult decks playing or slapping down the Pokemon League headquarters, and I had trouble with it. I did win some of those matches, but still they're very difficult to deal with. All the rest of the deck is pretty much the same for Arven, for Crispin, for Boss. You know the drill by now. Then we have another Joltik Box by Marco Aurelio Fernandez Garcia. Let's see here. Joltik Box, the Iron Leaves is in there, and also the Power Glass. The Power Glass allows you to, of course, attack with Pikachu EX and then absorb an energy once again, so you can go back-to-back Pikachu with the Topaz Bolt. Very good against stuff like Goldango EX, for example. And also coming back with Town Store, which is probably the most useful stadium card out the bunch to get yourself going. Although you could also think about the Beach Court. I don't know if the Beach Court is still legal in tournament play. Now that I think about it, I really want to find the answer to that question. Beach Court is still legal because it's a card from Scarlet Violet. That could also be like a stadium card you might think about to add into Joltik Box, because that will also provide you with a way to get into your Joltik. But Town Store can get your tools, and the tools can get your rescue board, so it's probably better. But yeah, you need maybe a stadium if the people do slap down, maybe Jamming Tower, maybe Pokemon League headquarters. That can be a very crazy headache for you. But yeah, another Joltik Box. So Joltik Box doing really well at the regional in Santiago. We have a straight Dragapult with Victor Lagoon, or Lugon, or whatever it's pronounced. I'm sorry, I'm not good with foreign names, I'm sorry. So we have a straight Dragapult, nothing out of the ordinary, to be honest. You have the E-Search in there, Hawlucha, 3 copies of Brock Scouting, so no Jacques. Sometimes people prefer the 2-1 split of Jacques and Brock Scouting, but that's, that's the list here. We have Matias Matricardi from Argentina, so Dragapult with Charizard. Coming back with the TM Evo, as well as the Pokemon League headquarters, Maximum Bout. This is a wonky list, and I really want to test this out because I do believe it is very strong in this meta. Maximum Bout could help with damage output that the opponent is not expecting. Pokemon League headquarters can help against Raging Bulls and Joltik Box decks that want to be doing a little bit creative. Combine that with an Iono, you're going to be doing wonders. And also coming back with a Monkey Dory, so that's why the Luminous Energies are everywhere. With that many Luminous Energies, you might think about adding an Enhanced Hammer out of nowhere. We have Owen Dalgard from United States with Flareon Sylveon Evolution Box. Yeah, this actually was piloted before at also piloted at the Utrecht special event by some people. What do we see here? Sparkling Crystal, Crispins, Briar, very scary card to be dealing with. Brock Scouting to deal with the high amount of item block. Kieran as a switch out on top of slapping more damage against EX Pokemon, so that could be cool as well. As you all know, we have the Angelite of the Sylveon EX, which can be very disruptive against a lot of archetypes out there. You can shuffle back Curlios, stuff like Dracloaks. If you do that well timed, you can just run away with the game. Flareon can power itself up quite easily. We have the Burning Charge to power up your other Pokemon, so yeah, I think EV Box is a very difficult deck to play, but can definitely get some results done. We have Daniel Ramirez with the Terrapagos Noctowl, getting into top 8 here. So what do we see here is that it actually is coming back with the Volcanion EX again. I told you that it's very good up against stuff like Goldango. That could be very useful here to boost up your damage output. There's always a possibility if you do go first to actually do go second, you can dunk people with the Fan Rotom, as there's 3 copies of the stadiums in there. There's a rare candy, so a 1/0 line of Pidgeot EX also thrown up in this list, and only 2 copies of Crispin. A little bit shaky in my opinion, but you do scout them out quite easily because of Noctowl, and there's also the Glass Trumpet to power up your Pokemon. So yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Terrapagos, Buffaloland. What are statistics? I'm gonna check out statistics here. We do see the Santiago Regionals. So we do see here Dragapult, Raging Bolt was the second most popular deck, Gardevoir, then Pikachu, then Terra Box, and then Goldango Dragapult. So a thing that was actually missing out here, it's pretty much in the same order, right? If we take a look at Utrecht, pretty much the same. I think a little bit more Raging Bolt over in Santiago, and also Goldango Dragapult did more. Yeah, there was way more weird decks popping up in Utrecht, which makes sense. We did see that Okidogi in action, which was hilarious. So yeah, that was the meta. That was the top 8 for Santiago. Let's continue on. We have 9 plays with Carlos Sepulveda from Chile, Goldango Dragapult. So playing the Artisan and the Jamming Tower, having access to Energy Search Pro to get all your energies out the deck. There is 2 Cypher Maniacs, 4 copies of Arven, the TM Evo strategy, and you're having the Dragapult as well. Okay, only 2 Cypher Maniacs, but other than that, there's also a list that has been performing quite well over at the recent regionals. So we do have Gusting with Counter Catcher, as well as 2 copies of Bulbasaur. Sometimes you do see an Iron Bundle squeaking itself into the 60, but for now, this is it. You draw cards with Coin Bonus, you draw cards with Fast Serendipity, you draw cards with the Recon Directive, so tons of cards, and you destroy everything in your path with Make It Rain. For every basic energy you're discarding from your hand, you're slapping 50 damage. If you want to go the different route, you can also sometimes attack with the Dragapult EX and the Phantom Dive. So that's kind of cool. Then we have 10th place Victor Freitas with Dragapult. Dusknoir was also piloted by Laura Caporali Braga, so almost top 16, so very cool list. It seems Pokemon League Headquarters is the only new card coming into a very known 60 here with the classic Dusknoir Dragapult. You just Budu first, slow the opponent down, and then run away with the game with Cursed Blast and Phantom Dive and Hawlucha. So can become very scary. Only 1 rare candy in here, so you have to go slow. That's the motto with this 60. Continuing on, there is a straight Dragapult list with Miguel Angel Rojas Duque from Chile, straight Dragapult, and having the Neo Upper Energy and Maractus technology. So he can come out of nowhere. Sometimes people do gust up your Dracloak with an energy. You can be prepared and say, haha, I have your new upper energy. No way to scout it out from the deck, so that's the only downside. But if you do draw into it, oh boy, is it powerful. There is also Maractus Stalling, which can help out against decks like Raging Bolt, for example. But I could also do some tricks, I suppose, up against Joltik Box players that do not play the Iron Leaves, which can be very hilarious as well. So cool stuff, Maractus and the Neo Upper Energy, all the stuff we've seen before here. Also Latias to, of course, free retreat into Budu. So you keep your energy attachment of the turn onto your Dreepy. Felipe Bastias with Gardevoir. So Gardevoir didn't do too well over in Santiago, it seems. So we see here a 60. I think, is there something different here? A 3rd candy, but that's about it. I think they've got 1 card from the famous 60. I think there's a lot of night stretchers that down the drain. There's like, I think there's like, instead of 4 night stretchers, there's like 2 stretches, super odd, and they made room for a rare candy. That's what I see at first. So Gardevoir still doing its stuff, but you see here in Santiago, yeah, it actually won the event. So I say like Gardevoir's not doing too well, but that's not true. But only 1 in top 8. But if you take a look at like the Utrecht special event, there was, of course, also 1 in top 8. Okay, that makes sense. Gardevoir always seems to find a slot into top 8. Continuing on, there was another Gardevoir here with Pedro Pertusi. Same 60 as Rafael Uiti and Leonardo Fernandez. So people are, yeah, together on this one. Having TM Evo, lowering down on the rare candy count, and lowering down on the counter catcher count to just make sure we are gonna be the first couple of we're gonna take the first prize cards. That's pretty much what it is. Slow the opponent down. Yeah, you can slow the opponent down with Budu, or if you have TM Evo strategy, you can get that off and then start swinging instantly. 3 copies of Earthen Vessel, high amount of research, even Arvin package, so this can go very quickly. Sebastian Aspe from Chile with Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt, the only difference I see here is that there is a Terrapagos in this 60. Sometimes Terrapagos can get powered up through the means of Crispin. There's 2 copies of Crispin in here, which can sometimes be better than discarding all of your energies. So that's pretty much why it's in there, as you're never using the Crown Opal attack. It's just mainly in here for Unified Beatdown. And also can make sure that you can technically start your game plan already, because you can easily use your Noctiles. That's an additional Terra Pokemon. Okay, then we have Nelson Barros with a Raging Bolt. Okay. Raging Bolt coming packed with same stuff, only 1 E, energy retrieval. I think Palpad sometimes is played, sometimes is not. Other than that, same stuff we've seen before. Nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary right here. They are playing 70 HP Hoot Hoot, which need 2 energies. I don't know if it's the optimal Hoot Hoot for this list, but it is something I noticed. And then we have Camilo Nilo from Chile with Great Tusk Mill. That's cool. Seeing some rogue decks. I love to see that. Neutralization Zone, very powerful if the opponent is out of stadiums. That means all of your Pokemon are 0 prizers, technically. You have some Crushing Hammers, which can help, and 06 Machinist can help to make sure the opponent has a very low hand size. You have the Redeemable Ticket. If some of your things are priced, you can make sure you can have a switcheroo going around. There's Mimikyu. Sometimes the opponent, if they're bench locked or anything like that, cannot deal with him alone Mimikyu, which can also be very helpful. You can get it back with Super Rod or Night Stretcher. So Great Tusk Mill getting into top 16. Very, very good to see. Anything out of the ordinary? Probably not in that top 32. So yeah, you see all these lists right here. There were 196 players. Actually, in that day too. So that's kind of crazy. Now, if you take a look at some statistics, I don't know if the conversion rate here. Most successful decks here: Dragapult, Gardevoir, Raging Bolt, Joltik Box. Those are probably the 4 most powerful decks in the Journey Together format. And then there was one last tournament. It was the regional in Melbourne, of course, won by Brent Tonisson, the legend. Look at that resume, man. First in Monterrey, top 8 in Milwaukee, first in Melbourne. Can anyone stop Brent Tonisson? He is the most successful player in the modern era. I can say besides Stord, I would say. They're definitely going it's who is the best player? Let me know down below in the comments. I want to hear your opinions, because Brent Tonisson definitely considered one of the strongest players in the modern time and age. So what happened there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Gardevoirs in top 8. Is this Gardevoir Fiesta or what? Let's take a look at some statistics. During day 1, we saw that this was the graph. So we do see the 4 most popular decks in the room. Dragapult, followed up by Gardevoir, followed up by Raging Bolt, followed up by Joltik Box, and then a little bit of Terra Box and then go Dragapult. This is perfectly showcasing the best 5 decks in the format, I would say. Decks that have dropped off, and Zoroark, something like Archelodon actually flopped off a little bit. If you take a look at the best of the rest, that actually was in Utrecht. EV Box, Archelodon, Charizard, and Zoroark consider the backup of the rest of the top. If we want to make a top 10, probably that's gonna be it. But yeah, 563 Masters. Let's see what's happening there. Okay, let's take a look at the results. Brent Tonisson, do we need to say anything else? It's the same 60, the legendary 60. Wow. Impressive. This 60, is this considered the best 60? I know we had Andrew Hedrick back in the days, I would say the Lugia list, if I'm not mistaken. So, but this, you can scroll all day long. People are still going to be playing it. It's very good. Then continuing on, we have Jeremy Leong from Singapore with Gardevoir as well. We do see 2 copies of Morty's Conviction in here. So that's definitely out of the ordinary. You don't see that every day. So, made room, they maybe cut down on the research. But Morty's Conviction, maybe cherry picking a little bit of cards from your hand to discard the energies, and then drawing more cards, because a lot of people fill up their bench easily. So there's that. We have Terra Box from Japan, Daichi Shimada. Let's go. People from Japan were everywhere. There's a lot of people playing from Japan here in this Australian regionals, Melbourne regionals. Terra Box with a Budu. Okay, that's the only difference I see here. We still have the Briar. Also, you don't see the Briar every single time in the Terra Box deck. High amount of Crispin. You have the E-Switch combinations. Your Wellspring as one of the main Terra Pokemon you want to be using. A little bit of different energies. Also played by Takuya Yoneda, so they probably cooked this list together. And it's actually paying off, getting, of course, that third placement here. Very cool indeed. Unfortunately, the Japanese people will need to get to get a Worlds Invite. They have a different structure. The only way to get a Worlds Invite if they win an event, as we saw people do already. Okay, what do we see is that they're playing Budu. Budu and Briar are the only things that are standing out to me. Moving forward, there's a bunch more Gardevoir. Angus Johnson. Gardevoir. What else is new? Yeah, same 60 as Brent Tonisson. I'm not going to be paying more attention to that. I'm sorry, Angus. You did really well, but it's Brent Tonisson 60, so we cannot talk about it more. We talked about it before. Callum Walkner with Gardevoir. Okay, this actually is being played by a lot of people here in Melbourne and Utrecht. So what is different? They added in the third copy of Rare Candy. That's what's happening here. People want to be making Gardevoir a tiny little bit faster and came to the same conclusion as all of these players, adding in third copy of Rare Candy. Natalie Miller, also Gardevoir, surprise, surprise, and is actually Brent Tonisson 60. This is the best Guardy 60 I've ever seen. Nigel 10 from New Zealand. All right, you see the difference here. New Zealand, Terra Box. This Terra Box is playing a Lily's Pearl. This can be coming in clutch against specific matchups where you just attack with the Lily's Clefairy, have a Lily's Pearl, and suddenly it is a one-prize Pokemon. That means even if a Dragapult knocks it out, it only gives up one prize, which will win the prize trade, and also double copy of the Ditto, so your most formidable starting Pokemon to start with. So you definitely are going to be more consistent with a second copy of Ditto in there. So only a copy of Teal Dance, there's 2 copies of E-Switch still in there, 3 copies of Boss. There is no counter catcher in here. So that's something I'm really missing in the Terra Box deck. Sometimes you do fall behind, you can use that. Sota Kasai with Raging Bolt. Okay, this Raging Bolt deck is very similar to Christian Labella's 60. I don't know what's different, like the E-Switch, I suppose. E-Switch could be coming in clutch if you want to, of course, attack for the Thunderbolt Storm for more damage output, or as mentioned, attack with the Teal Mask Ogre Pawn in 1 turn. You can also go Crispin, Teal Dance attachment to do that, but yeah, E-Switch can definitely be helpful to, of course, get that addition. Sometimes there's also an energy still around on your field, which can E-Switch yourself to another Pokemon of your choice. Sometimes you can even go for a Pheasantipity Snipe, E-Switch, attachment, Crispin. I know, I'm coming up with crazy conclusions, but Raging Bolt is still powerful. Riku Nakajima with also Raging Bolt in the house, and Iono on top of the Judge and a counter catcher in the 60 as well. Other than that, I don't see anything that is standing out. It's also being played by, I think, 3 more Japanese players. So Japanese people testing together and coming up to the conclusion that sometimes a late game Iono can definitely win you games. I think it's definitely an understatement, because sometimes Iono to 1 while using a Raging Bolt to snipe could be very, very crazy for sure. Also want to check out, because we checked out a lot of these lists already. Look at this, take a look at the statistics. We had day 1 meta share. What do we see? What do we see is in Melbourne, Dragapult most popular, Monkey Dory, then Raging Bolt, then Terra, and then Joltik Box, followed up by Terra Box, and then Goldango Dragapult. It's this format has been solved, except for the Okidogi. Okidogi is the only thing that came out of the woodworks to be unique. So that's what I conclude here. And then the day 2 conversion rate. What is this? What has Raging Bolt been eating in Melbourne to have such a crazy conversion rate? What? 20% Raging Bolt followed up by Gardevoir. No wonder there's so many Gardevoirs in that top 8. Really? And then Dragapult followed up by Joltik Box, Terra Box, and Goldango Dragapult. But yeah, craziest thing ever. Dragapult dropping in popularity, Gardevoir rising, Joltik Box rising, and Raging Bolt rising. So what happened there is day 1, day 2. Interesting. There were maybe more random decks, but yeah, there's Raging Bolts everywhere in Melbourne, it seems, and Joltik boxes also did quite good, I suppose. Joltik boxes, but yeah, Gardevoir is everywhere. Kind of insane. Moving forward, Ethan Lu with the Raging Bull. What is different here? Playing 2 copies of Crispin. I don't see the difference. I like the counter catcher, I suppose, and the split line between the Hoot Hoots, I suppose. We have like an 80 HP Hoot Hoot in this 60, and also an Iono. So Iono and the counter catchers are coming into the Raging Bolt decks now, so be careful if you don't know. Then we have Michael Bio from United States getting into a top 16 placement, having the Umbreon EX and the Evolution box deck. So we of course have the Colorful Friends Eevee to get like 3 different types out. The Boosted Evolution Eevee, an Eevee EX, Flareon that can attack with the Burning Charge, Angel Light Sylveon, very scary, Brock Scouting, Briar. Yeah, these are like cards we are known, we know that this deck has, but also this is coming back with Umbreon, and for good reason. Umbreon with Sparkling Crystal can actually eat up a Gardevoir EX. That's pretty much what it's in for. It can also go for the second attack, discard all this energy and take a prize. If you do need to take your last prize card, that could be a cool way to do so. Sparkling Crystal, and then Crispin getting your Lightning Energy and your Psychic Energy attached. But mostly in here, Sparkling Crystal, Crispin into maybe Counter Catcher, knocking out Gardevoir EX. So Umbreon EX, finally seeing some play here. Super cool, super cool. EV box. Continuing on, we have Jimmy Farugia from Australia with Milotic Fairy Giraffe. It's a wall deck with Poke Vital A as the ace-pack card of choice. Milotic being immune from Terra Pokemon, so Charizard, forget about it. Dragapult, forget about it. Terra Pokemon like Wellspring Ogerpon, Teal Mask Ogerpon, Terrapagos, all the Terra Pokemon you are blocking out instantly with Milotic. And then you have Fairy Giraffe EX, which is very great against stuff like Raging Bolt. So have a mixture of that. And also the Cornerstone Ogerpon, which can be very good against stuff like Goldango, for example, because you block everything out with abilities, and you can heal with the Poke Vital A. Rigid Band also helps out your Stage 1 Pokemon with some additional defensive power, and you do get them into play quite easily through the means of the Technical Machine Evolution, allowing you to, of course, have this Arven package set up, go second, get your Pokemon out that you want, and you wall everything out, and then power it up with Crispin. That's pretty much the deck. I did a deck profile about a very similar 60 on the channel before. Then we have Oliver Hans with Bouffalant, Terrapagos, Volcanion, the 101 line. Yeah, this is the exact same 60 that somebody played at the Ontario Regionals as well to get like a top 64 placement. So Volcanion in there, as mentioned. Additional burn damage can help get yourself some bigger numbers with your Blood Moon, with your Terrapagos as well. Having a 101 line of Pidgeot is good because at one point you can go Fan Rotom, Hoot Hoot, Hoot Hoot, Pidgey, or maybe Hoot Hoot, Pidgey, Hoot Hoot, then go for like Noctowl, or actually I would say Hoot Hoot, Pidgey, Noctowl, get the Noctowl, then following turn, get the rare candy out the deck, get an Ultra Ball, and your Pidgeot EX is established. And if that is established, you can do miracles. There's a Monkey Dory in there as well. And yeah, 2 copies of Crispin is probably the norm. I don't see people playing more of them, so maybe I was over-exaggerating right there. You have Mike Khan with Flareon box, Evolution box, no cool Umbreon EX in this 60. You see the Black Belt Straining, which can push Flareon all the way into 320 HP territory. Is that useful? Sometimes. And there's also the Angel Light. So 2 Flareon, 2 Sylveon seem to be the most successful evolutions from the Prismatic Evolution set. Okay. And then there is 15th place, Akira Kurisaki from Japan with Terra Box. A Terra Box deck that is also playing Gravity Mountain. It is very cool in theory. If you can get that Gravity Mountain into play through the means of Noctowl, you can easily knock out some big HP Pokemon like Charizard, Dragapult, for example, with your Topaz Bolt Pikachu EX. So that's why the Gravity Mountain is in there. Sometimes it's also cool to slap 300 damage, do nothing, and then slap down Gravity Mountain, but be careful, Monkey Dories are everywhere, so maybe it's better to get the combo going all at once. So cool, Wellspring, Snipes Pokemon, Briar for more prize cards. What is there not to love about Terra Box? And then we also compact with the last deck I want to talk about here, Alexander Thorvaldsson with Joltik Box. Okay, Joltik Box coming packed with some very unique tech cards. Chimpao. It is in there because it's searchable to get rid of stuff like Pokemon Elite Headquarters or Jamming Tower. Because if you slap down Chimpao, you can discard a Stadium and play, which is actually super cool. And that's actually seeing play in this 60 now. So there's like a lot of cool tool cards developed here. Chimpao. Vitality Band. There is the Weakness Goggles or whatever it was. So people are innovating with Joltik Box, but the main core is still clear. Also, Iron Bundle in the 60. I also played Iron Bundle in my day 2 list of Joltik Box. Definitely check that out as well. So we experimented a little bit as well with Joltik Box, and this also is playing a 1-1 line of Magneton to, of course, get energies back out of nowhere to attack back-to-back with Iron Hands. And this could also offset a Briar at one point, which is also something that could happen, I suppose. If you like want to offset the effect of a Briar, or if you want to like, there's no Iono or anything in there, but Magneton can charge yourself back up when you least expect it. Cool for sure. Oh yeah, the Magneton could also help activate the Blood Moon. That's also something that could happen. Any other cool list we want to be talking about here? Top 32, I would say Frozla's Monkidori by Joshua Smart. Frozla's Monkidori, Maractus, Gravity Gemstone, and TM Devos. Very insane. So all of these decks, this showcase that the format always has time to develop. And that's why I love a format like this, even though there's like not an undisputed best deck in the format. If we take a look at these results, we talked about Santiago Regionals here with all of these. The thing that stand out was like Great Tusk Mill in Santiago. The thing that stand out at Utrecht was, of course, the Okidogi. We also had the Melbourne Regionals where people were experimenting like maybe with Umbreon in the Evolution deck, with cool stuff in the Joltik Box deck. There's even Frozla's Monkidori and people playing Wall. So yeah, all these decks are everywhere. So let me know down below in the comments what you thought about these results this weekend. Are you still going for a World Championship invite? I want to hear all your stories down below in the comments. Personally, my favorite deck in this format is Joltik Box. There's many ways to like experiment on. Do you want to play Iron Leaves? Do you want to play Vitality Band? Do you want to be playing a Magneton as we saw? You want to play an Iron Bundle? Lots of things to innovate upon. Gardevoir is a little bit solved, as well as Dragapult. Like some people are playing like the Maractus in there to help your Raging Bolt matchup. So it's going back and forth, and I wonder what's gonna happen next weekend. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know what you thought about the video by leaving something down below in the comments. And if you enjoyed it, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. It is super effective on the channel. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your day, and also go check out the sponsors. They will be on the screen right now. Level up your game with TC Evolutions. Breathtaking damage counters, special condition tokens, and ability markers. Precision, style, power. Use coupon ZapDosTCG for 10% off only at TC Evolutions. Also go check out DragonShield.com if you're looking for the best sleeves in town. You can get them with 5% off using the coupon ZapDos5. Links down below. There's also PotownStore.com for your TCG Live code card needs. You can get them with 5% off using the coupon ZapDosTCG. And CardMarket.com for European players, where you're able to buy as well as sell cards to people all across Europe. Use the referral name ZapDosTCG to help support the channel. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you all for watching this long video, but there was a lot of tournament data to be taken a look at. The format has pretty much been solved, but we have a lot of things to do. We need to make that Okidogi video. We need to make maybe another Frozla's video. So there's still a lot more coming up on the channel. So definitely subscribe so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.